Hey yo, what is good again? Y'all already know what it is. We coming in with this mid fade with the comb over. Talk to me nice. I know y'all been begging me about this damn YouTube video, but I got y'all on deck with it, so don't sleep. First off, we getting with the clip over comb. I'm gonna make a separate video on how you guys can do this because I know y'all be asking me what is the way to do the clip over comb, but for right now, I'm just telling y'all the details. So with that number 2, now we come in and even out the whole base, making sure that you keeping the flicks light. You don't want to press too hard on the client's head. If you leaving red on your client, bro, you doing it too hard, man. Make sure you guys are going ahead and flicking in the direction that the hair flows and you're going against the hair. That way you make sure you get everything done. This is all about precision. It's not about speed. You don't want to get it done quick. You're trying to get it done right. Remember that. And now with this style that we're doing, it's called doing clipper through comb, which means you just threading the hair right through the clipper, making sure you get every individual strand of hair so everything can fade in and look nice and clean at the end, especially with long hair like this. And when you're trying to blend it into the bottom half of the head, this works perfect, I swear to God. And also, I'll make a separate video on how you guys can do that one too. And now we're coming in with this FX trimmer, making our first guideline. Every fade that I do is most likely a drop fade. So when we make this guideline, you want to make it in the shape of a drop fade, which means you want to curve it down towards the back. And that way it just looks better and it fits the client's head a little bit better. So you should be going low enough for the guideline to be going under the occipital bone. If you guys don't know what the occipital bone is, it's the back of the head. That little bump that you have right back there, that's your occipital bone. So once it goes under that, then you know you're doing a drop fade. And then you can either keep the hair at the bottom and bald it out at the end, or you can bald it out at the beginning. It doesn't matter. I just like doing and completing steps as I go, so that way once I'm done with the cut, I'm done. I don't have to go back and do anything extra to it. And that way, you know, it's less risk of you messing up anything. You feel me? And you guys see how I'm moving the client's head around. That's what y'all have to do. Y'all have to maneuver this client's head around so that way you can get every little piece of hair. Y'all be doing these fades and talking all that stuff about my fades, but then you guys be having hair at the bottom left after your fade, a little dark spots that you didn't get because you didn't take the time to make sure everything was done. And now coming in with that electric shaver. A lot of y'all don't be using the electric shaver, but I think every person should be using this electric shaver unless your client tells you that it gives you bumps. But the electric shaver, what it does is, one, it extends the duration of your client's haircut. I want to say it gives it at least a day or two more of a clean look. And trust me, y'all might not notice it, but y'all client definitely gonna appreciate it when they see that their haircut lasts a day or two more. And on top of that, it gives another type of contrast to the fade. It gives another color. And now we're going in for the lineup. Y'all know I like to line up first. I say it in every video. I like to line up first. Some people like to line up after the fade, but I like to line up before the fade because then that way you could build your cut around the lineup instead of vice versa. And you could get a good look of what you're working with. It's kind of like, if you think about it, it's kind of like test driving a car before you actually buy it. You know, you lining it up and seeing how the client's lineup is going to be, so that way you can picture what type of fade you want to fit that lineup that you got. And also it kind of helps you keep the edges darker, if it makes sense. That way you have to use less enhancement, because I know y'all be talking all that shit about the enhancements, but listen, it be doing this thing. And now y'all notice how I'm not digging too much into the client's head when I'm doing this. Like when you dig too much into their hair, it can look good, but man, y'all be pushing it back too much. Now with that zero guideline open, we're making our first guideline about 1 inch thick, and you want to flow with the drop fade. So that means the same as the trimmer, how you dropped it in the back, that's the same thing you're going to do with this open zero. You're going to drop it towards the back and flow with the shape of the client's head. But we're not going to erase this guideline just yet. We're going to wait to the end. And the reason that I wait to the end for a lot of low and mid fades, is because you can use that first guideline to contrast and blend in the rest. It's easier just to spot out any indifference, any dark spot, anything that looks off. It's gonna help you. Trust me, just try it before you start talking all that. And now that 1.5 open, we're gonna start flicking up at the line, making sure that we're using very light-handed strokes when it comes to this. What I mean when I say very light-handed strokes is because you don't want to create another guideline that you don't have to. You're just wasting time with that. So make sure you're flicking with a C and you're flicking very lightly at that guideline. Like I said, going against the direction that the hair naturally flows in. Like I said, you guys want to be precise. This is all about making precise movements, not making quick movements. It may seem like I'm doing it fast, but I swear to God, it's because I've done this literally like 10,000 times. And then you drop that lever and then do the same thing with the 1.5 close, just flicking slightly below where you hit with the 1.5 open. And you guys do see how I'm using these corners. And now this is the one guard that I have on it. And with the one guard, you're basically doing the same exact thing, just dropping it a little bit lower, keeping that light-handed flick motion with it. And then I just slapped the 1.5 guard back in because I see there's some spots that I can still detail. I like to detail as I go. I know a lot of people like to detail after they're done, but like I said, when I'm done, I just like being done already. And you see how there's barely even a line there anymore separating the first guideline from what we have now. But of course that 0.5 gonna take care of it. Light hand strokes with this 0.5 using your corners, and look, it's already basically gone and we haven't even closed the 0.5 yet. Now with the 0.5, a lot of people don't know that the trick with the 0.5 is just being light-handed and using the corners, and you can really squeeze that 0.5 in anywhere in the client's head. Like you see, I'm using my corners to get a couple dark spots that's all the way up where the 1.5 should be. Usually that should leave a bald spot on the client's head, but you know, your boy know what he doing, so. And it's all about just manipulating with the corners, man. Just getting in there, getting in them tight spaces and using it. It's very simple. These trimmers and these clippers are made to cut hair. So if it's not cutting, either something's wrong with your clipper or you need to drop the lever on it. Y'all need to also stop being scared. Like, be cautious, but stop being scared. And now this final guideline, we're just gonna start erasing. So we take the lever, take the guard off, and we start flicking at the bottom line, dropping the lever halfway, then close until everything is nice and clean. This part does take, I want to say, the most time on the fade, but it's also the most important part, because if you mess this part up, you just effed up your entire fade, bro. Your entire fade. It don't matter how clean, but if this part don't look good, your fade not gonna come out right. So it's all about lever play. You know, if you see a spot that's dark and it won't come out with the blade open, go ahead and close it and then pop it back open to fix another spot. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta play with the lever. It's something that it's like an adjustment on a mic or on a keyboard. You gotta just adjust it and play around with it. And you see how I'm kind of staying away from the lineup is because I'm trying to keep it dark. That's why that lineup looks dark without any enhancement on there. And for y'all that like to talk all that smack about me using enhancements, look at this cut, bro. It ain't got no enhancement on it, and it's more fire than 90% of the people out here talking that in my comments. And now we throw that shaving cream on the edge, because usually I just do a dry shave on most of my clients, but when your client has thick hair and thick pores, it doesn't help to use a dry shave because you're going to cut somebody. This is a barber shop. It's not a butcher shop. You ain't supposed to be out here cutting people, man. If it happens every now and then, that's cool, but you see how I stretch the skin, and what that does is it gives it a tight surface for you to work on, and I promise you that razor is just gonna slide against the person's skin. pulling away every time I'm about to use the razor, adjusting the client's head so that way I can more comfortably get the lineup and get a closer shave. And y'all, I promise y'all be so scared to stick y'all hand in y'all client's face. Like, what are y'all already there? You already up in their face, man. Like, just go ahead and put your hand in their face, adjust them how you need to, man. Because most of the time, these clients aren't gonna know how to move when you cutting. The only person that know how to move is somebody that get cut all the time, or if they a barber in your chair. But if not, they don't know how to move, man. And that's just me brushing, getting all the excess hair out the way so I can see what I'm working with, guys. A little more touch up on the lineup. And then we start coming in with the enhancements. It's very light-handed with these enhancements. Very, very light-handed with these enhancements. And like I said, the enhancement is really just for that. It's just so you can make the cut pop. Like this shit shouldn't be making up your whole entire cut, man. If the enhancement is making up your whole entire cut, man, it's more than an enhancement. You basically just cut the person's head with the enhancement. You feel me? And now lining up one more time. So we're gonna do some light shear work here. It's nothing too crazy. I'll do a separate video on shear work, but we go ahead and take apart diagonally and go ahead and cut, making sure that we even out all this hair. If the hair, when you grab it, is already even, don't cut it. Only cut it if you see a difference. Don't cut just to cut, man. Make sure everything counts. And what this is just doing is blending the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom, excuse me. But like I said, I will make a separate video to show you guys shear work. Hey, you see my boy feeling himself. You know he got that 10 out of 10 cut though. So now I'm going to show y'all how I style his hair using my Ethos styling powder. Shout out to Ethos. Go ahead and get them and tell them Becky sent you. Go ahead and throw a little bit of powder on top. And now I'm just running my hands through the hair and making sure I get that volume and sink that powder in. What that powder is going to do is give them a little bit of volume and texture into the hair and give them just a different type of flow, a different type of look that you don't see with everything else. You feel me? That's why they come to Banky, because Banky get on the stuff they always wanted, you dig? Now with my level 3 paste, we're going to go ahead and put in his hair dry because this client does like the dry look. And I also prefer the dry look just because, I don't know, it looks more dope. And it's better for when you go ahead and comb through the head like that. It gives it that high, full, voluminous look that it has. Now I'm telling y'all, man, I appreciate y'all on everything. I appreciate y'all tapping into this tutorial. This is just the first of many. And to be honest, let me show you guys what this cut looked like after I got done. It is crazy, man. I promise you guys are not going to want to miss how this cut came out. Look. Damn, boy, I'm telling y'all, look, that is a 10 out of 10. That's why they come on Bootsky to book me, you feel me? But listen, thank you for everybody who's watching, to the subscribers, everybody who's paying attention. This is exactly how the cut is supposed to come out when you're first starting, okay?